Good morning, students. Today we are going to continue our play, The Winter's Tale, Part 2. First, I'm going to give you a summary of this part. The ship in which Antigonus carried the baby princess out to sea was driven by a storm to the coast of Bohemia. Antigonus never returned to Sicily to tell Leontes where he had left his daughter. As he was going back to the ship, a bear attacked him and tore him to pieces. Antigonus had fastened a piece of paper to her coat on which he wrote the name Perdita, which means the lost one, and words which indirectly suggested her noble birth and misfortune. The poor baby was found by a shepherd, but the shepherd was poor, and in order to hide the rich prize which he had found, he left that part of the country. Then with part of Perdita's jewels he bought large numbers of sheep, and became a wealthy shepherd. And from that moment Perdita was any other than a shepherd's daughter. Polixenes had only one son whose name was Florizel. One day, while he was hunting, he saw Perdita, who grew up to be a lovely girl, and he fell in love with her. So, under the name of Doricles, he became a frequent visitor at the old shepherd's house. Florizel's absence from court made Polixenes anxious. He set people to watch his son, and he discovered his love for the shepherd's daughter. Polixenes sent for Camillo to go with him to the house of the shepherd. Both Polixenes and Camillo changed their appearance and went to the shepherd's house. A feast was taking place. Though they were strangers, they were welcomed. Polixenes saw Perdita, and he said that she was the prettiest, low-born girl he had ever seen. Then he asked the shepherd about his son. He told him that he was called Doricles, and that he loved his daughter. He told him that she shall bring him what he does not dream of. He meant the rest of Perdita's jewels. Polixenes then spoke to his son and asked him why he didn't bring many presents for his girl. He told him that she didn't like such prizes. Then Florizel turned to Perdita and proposed marriage to her. Polixenes made himself known and blamed his son for daring to promise to marry this low-born girl, and he threatened that he would put Perdita and her father to a cruel death. Camillo saw that the young prince was deeply in love with her, to give her up at the command of his royal father, so he thought of a way to help them. Camillo knew that Leontes, the king of Sicily, was sorry for all he had done. He therefore suggested to Florizel and Perdita that they should go with him to the Sicilian court, where he promised Leontes would protect them. They joyfully agreed to this plan, and Camillo allowed the old shepherd to go with him. After a successful voyage, they arrived safely at the court of Leontes. The king received Camillo with great kindness, and gave a hearty welcome to Prince Florizel. Leontes saw that Perdita looked like his dead queen, and he said that his own daughter might have been such a lovely creature if he had not so cruelly destroyed her. When the old shepherd heard the story of the king's lost daughter, he understood that Perdita and the king's lost daughter were the same. Then he told them how he found Perdita and how he himself had seen Antigonus die. Now let's move to the summary in your booklet about this part. Hermione gave birth to a daughter in prison. Paulina, her faithful friend, had a plan to help the queen. She took the baby to the king, but she was wrong that Leontes ordered Antigonus to take the baby to the deserted shore to die. Antigonus left the child, but when he returned, a wild bear attacked him. A poor shepherd found the child. He took her and moved to another country. He became rich because he used her jewels. The baby was called Perdita. Florizel, Polixenes' son, loved her. But when his father knew that, he tried to prevent him, and he threatened Perdita that he would kill her and her father. Camillo helped Florizel and Perdita to escape to Sicily. Now answer this question. How did Paulina defend Hermione? She took the baby and went to the king to soften his heart, and she spoke for the queen. She told him that she was faithful. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Goodbye.